Good afternoon, my name is Todd Crowl. I'm the lead PI of the Florida International University CREST Center for Aquatic Chemistry and the Environment. We're in our fifth and final year of this phase of our CREST Center, and we basically wanted to understand the complexities of the South Florida landscape, especially with respect to the aquatic ecosystems and how nutrients and contaminants move through the system. So our three research focus areas were on the detection and identification of contaminants and pollutants. Our second area was on looking at the hydrology and how these things moved across the landscapes from the wetlands to the coastal areas. And then finally, what the impacts were on the communities and ecosystems and how we could visualize those impacts to help policymakers and local management agencies. Because we're in our last year, what we're really talking about is what we were able to accomplish. And so from a best practices perspective, one of the things that happened was we brought together faculty from across 14 departments and 4 colleges. So we truly became a transdisciplinary university-wide program. We directly provided 43 PhD students with stipends, and then we had an additional 35 graduate students who might not be eligible for stipends, but who we could help with travel, buying supplies. We purchased joint equipment that could be used. And so we ended up with a large number of graduate students that became a really close interdisciplinary cohort. Rita Tutanico, who's our education director, and I met bi-weekly with the students to talk about papers, to talk about their programs, practice talks, and talk about any issues they might have in sort of a confidential setting. And I think that really helped with cohort building. At the undergrad level, we had some discovery learning courses, hands-on understanding of our aquatic systems. 130 undergraduates participated. 12 of those continued on to conduct CREST-related research in labs. 7 of those 12 are now enrolled in STEM graduate programs. Our group has published 76 peer-reviewed publications. It'll probably be more than that by the time you hear this, and made 118 scientific presentations. And then we also started building low-cost environmental sensors so that we could sort of work with local high school and community organizations to collect data with lower-cost equipment. We submitted 13 collaborative grant proposals that spun off of CREST, and 69% of those were successful, including using having an undergraduate research fellows program that we then turned into an NSF-funded REU site. Our students were very diverse. We also supported 15 postdocs. 8 of them were female, 73. Well, you can see the numbers. Of our 78 graduate students, 36 were female, 60% were from underrepresented groups. And then our undergraduates are highly diverse. And again, that idea of a pathway moving in through the system worked well. The gaps are our next generation workforce skills. We want to think about new technologies, things like robotics. And then also our partnerships weren't as strong as they could have been. We started out with some very high level federal folks, often who couldn't travel for budget reasons. And so as we continue working through the CREST Center, we'll partner with much more local, on the ground, state and federal collaborators, so that there's a lot more interaction with students. Thanks so much.